Be passionate and move forward with gusto every single hour of every single day until you reach your goal. When we're talking about diversity, it's not a box to check. It is a reality that should be deeply felt and held and valued by all of us. Creativity is an energy. It's a precious energy, and it's something to be protected. A lot of people take for granted that they're a creative person, but I know from experience, feeling it in myself, it is a magic, it is an energy. And it can't be taken for granted. Women have been trained in our culture and society to ask for what we want instead of taking what we want. We've been really indoctrinated with this culture of permission. I think it's true for women, and I think it's true for people of color. It's historic, and it's unfortunate and has somehow become part of our DNA. But that time has passed. All the traditional models for doing things are collapsing, from music to publishing to film, and it's a wide open door for people who are creative to do what they need to do without having institutions block their art. It's emotional for artists who are women and people of color to have less value placed on our worldview. The best art is realized when you can share the experience of making of it and not just the presentation of it, so that the audience is part of the creation and not just part of the consumption. Then it becomes much more full-bodied and robust. I think any black woman is a queen. It's just, do you know it? Do you see it in yourself? Do you recognize it? Do you abide by that? Do you define yourself as that? Based on who we are and what we've been through and how we survive and where we stand, we are on kind of sacred ground. We stand on the backs of our ancestors. It's not enough even to have one black Barbie, because black women are not a monolith. Any film that you see that has any progressive spirits that is made by any people of color or a woman is a triumph in and of itself. Whether you agree with it or not. Something that comes with some point of view and some personal perspective from a woman or a person of color is a unicorn. Artists should be free to create what we want. I believe there's a special value in work that is a reflection of oneself as opposed to interpretation. When I see a film or a TV show about black people not written by someone who's black, it's an interpretation of that life. As long as you're in an environment where the worth of the project isn't based on the project but what its predecessors did, it's not truly inclusive. There's a big difference between the independent film world and the Hollywood film world, and I don't know that I understood that until I got into certain rooms, and people's faces go blank when you talk about Sundance. I'm interested in seeing artists whom I respect who are very focused on the Black Lives Matter moment, bringing that into storytelling in a way that really amplifies the beauty and the humanity of people of color, and does it without having to wave a big sign that says, "This is what we're doing." I never had a desire to be a filmmaker. As a child and a teenager and in college, I was not aware of black women making films. I didn't have to learn Selma to make Selma. I didn't have to research what kind of place this is. The people I love most in the world live in that part of the country. The consumer is deciding what they want to see and when and how, and filmmakers are more aware and accepting of the fact that success is not predicated on your movie showing in a traditional theater for a certain amount of time. I'd be absolutely happy to go back and make a smaller picture. I never want my choices to be dictated by budget. That's one of the reasons why I take so much pride in being able to make films for $2 and a paper clip, because I can always get my hands on $2 and a paper clip. I never have to ask for permission for that. I want more girls to be able to see themselves behind the camera creating images we all enjoy, and I want to call attention to the fact that women directors are here all over the world. When we say there's a dearth of women directors, it's not that there's a lack of women who direct, it's a lack of opportunities and access for women to direct and be supported in that. I spent a whole 12 years helping other people tell their stories as a publicist, so just to be able to go and write and get behind the camera, that's my thing. The way that we're consuming what we watch. Netflix, binge watching, destination agnostic were not terms. It was about networks, times, dates. Even with feature films, you had to see it this way, in this capacity, at this time. All that has changed. Now it's really about the story. It's a gift that I became a storyteller at this time. I intend to be making films until I'm an old lady. So, if God willing I get there, I need to create a paradigm for myself where I can make it regardless of whether or not they still like what I'm making. If I can be in a place where my image is encouraging people to see different people behind the camera, and my image and the images I make can help open up a certain worldview, I think that's all a part of a larger spirit of change and progress, and I'm happy to be part of it. I made my first film when I was 35, so I firmly believe that you don't have to be one thing in life. If you're doing something, and you have a desire to do something different, give it a try. I think that Black people making art, women making art, and certainly Black women making art is a disruptive endeavor, and it's one that I enjoy extremely. There was a time when I was knocking on doors and concerned with being recognized in dominant culture. I've found a space where the terrain is different, where I'm embraced by people like me, and where I'm building new ways of doing things, as opposed to trying to insert myself in a place that might not be welcoming. Diversity is not one in the room. Diversity is not two in the room. Diversity is not three in the room. True diversity is half the room. Ava Marie DUVERNAY, born August 24, 1972 in Long Beach, California. She was raised by her mother, Darlene Sexton, an educator, and her stepfather, Murray May. The surname of her biological father, Joseph Marcel DUVERNAY III, originates with Louisiana Creole ancestry. She grew up in Linwood, California. She has 4 siblings. DUVERNAY is an American filmmaker. She is a recipient of a Primetime Emmy Award, a NAACP Image Award, a BAFTA Film Award and a BAFTA TV Award, as well as a nominee of an Academy Award and Golden Globe. After making her directorial debut, I Will Follow 2010, DUVERNAY won the Directing Award in the U.S. Dramatic Competition at the 2012 Sundance Film Festival for her second feature film Middle of Nowhere, becoming the first Black woman to win the award. For her work on Selma 2014, a biopic about Martin Luther King Jr., DUVERNAY became the first African American woman to be nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Director and the Academy Award for Best Picture. Her other film credits include the Academy Award-nominated Netflix documentary 13th 2016 and the Disney fantasy film A Wrinkle in Time 2018, the latter making her the first African American woman to direct a film with a budget of $100 million. Her television credits include the OWN drama series Queen Sugar 2016 and 2 Netflix drama limited series, When They See Us 2019. Based on the 1989 Central Park jogger case and Colin in Black and White 2021 based on the teenage years of NFL player Colin Kaepernick. In 2017, DUVERNAY was included on the annual Time 100 list of the most influential people in the world. In 2020, she was elected to the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences Board of Governors as part of the Directors Branch.